The American Conservative Union, best known as the group behind the annual Cpac convention, is basically, according to the Daily Beast, funneling money from its own supporters to the private businesses of its board members. So they're kind of like, enriching themselves. So here are the details. The ACU, again, the American Conservative Union, has enriched companies belonging to two of its directors to the tune of just, $4 million in the past 5 years. And that's according to a review of their yearly tax forms and other required filings. In fact, this investigation by the Daily Beast found that there could be some laws broken here. The cash has poured out of the ACU's own coffers, out of its political committees, and straight from the pockets of the right-wing rank and file into the firms controlled by Vice Chairman Charlie Giro. I think that's how you say his name. Now a candidate for governor of Pennsylvania, and also Kimberly Bellissimo, the secretary of the ACU's foundation. So let's get a little specific. How much money are we talking about for each individual? Well, a total of $153,315 has flowed from the American Conservative Union to Quantum Communications, a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania firm registered in Giro's name and where he serves as CEO. Okay, by the way, the ACU claims that it selected its vendors, selected people to give contracts to just based on their merit, based on their cost effectiveness. But I don't know, legal experts really do question that. So Marcus Owens, who's an attorney who previously directed the IRS's charities division, noted that despite the payment, the ACU answered no to a series of questions on its federal 990 form about whether it had hired any company in which one of its directors held a position of interest. So you're supposed to disclose that, okay? If you are an organization like the American Conservative Union, you're supposed to notify the IRS if your organization is providing contracts or funneling money to one of your board members. And they didn't do that, they answered no. And clearly they did this with not one, but two people. I have more details, but Cenk, you wanna jump in?
Yeah, first of all, it's not Giro, it's Gyro.
I apologize, I should have looked up the pronunciation of his name.
No, I'm kidding. All right, so I'm given to understand that lying to the IRS is a crime. I was also given to understand that conservatives care about rule of law. But I've been disabused of that notion over the years. So look, guys, I know a lot of progressives that have run organizations, and overall, they take anywhere from zero to not great money. Are there some that are establishment Democrats that run nonprofits and they take a good salary? I'm sure there are, right? I've started 3-packs, never taken a dollar from any of them, okay? The right wing probably looks at me and goes, sucker, you're supposed to milk those and then put it in your pocket and say, no, you're supposed to help the country. But I know for the right wing, that's a joke, right? So they're the least patriotic people you could find. Now, but there are two layers to this scam, okay? One is borderline. Hey, we're gonna get lawn signs, let's say. In this case, one of the folks involved does printing and graphics, right? Okay, you're supposed to go and get bids from everybody, and she's supposed to have the best bid and best quality, lowest price, etc. And you're supposed to make an honest decision. But a lot of times the money gets funneled, for the right wing, this is very matter of course, gets funneled to whoever's running the pack, but at least they produce the lawn signs or the prints and the graphics, etc. That's level one of the scam, and honestly wouldn't be a federal case, right? It'd be bad, it's immoral, they shouldn't do it, they should follow the law, but it wouldn't be a federal case, okay? The second layer is the troubling one, and that's where you get into the person who was the secretary here. So I want Anna to give you the details, and I want to explain why the second level is so much worse.
So you're talking about Bellissimo, right?
That's right, Bellissimo.
All right, let's get to Bellissimo. By the way, before we do that, let me just also note, this is a nonprofit, and that means they're tax exempt. And in order to remain tax exempt, you're not supposed to be giving money to political candidates. And as I mentioned, we're talking about a dude here who's running for public office in Pennsylvania.
Okay, again, the nonprofits, like on the right wing side, are total scams. They just funnel money to the politicians. Of course they do. You're allowed to send some money You're supposed to follow the laws. Everything in this level is a matter of degree, right? And by the way, it could theoretically be possible that you make the best lawn signs, that they really did a process. Okay, now as you're gonna see in level 2, that is not what happened here.
All right, let's go to level 2. So the group's federal committees have also dumped money into Bellissimo's firms, $116,756 to her company Forthright, I love that, Forthright Strategy.
Oh, that's so awesomely ironic.
For graphic design and printing, and $516,418 to Direct Support Services, a company registered in Bellissimo's name and based out of Forthright's offices, mostly for database management. Okay, here's where it gets good. Additionally, the ACU's financial reports to the IRS show that beginning in 2016, the group has contracted Forthright every year to run its direct mail fundraising campaigns. But despite amassing over $3 million, $3.5 million over 4 years, IRS records show that Forthright has never remitted a cent to the ACU.
So let me explain what that means. So they say, okay, now you're gonna give me $3.5 million, but it's okay. I'm doing direct mail for you, and it's over 4 years, so about $1 million a year, right? And then the point of direct mail is you're then going to raise more money, okay? And then instead of let's say $1 million a year, right? I'm gonna give you back $2 million because it worked. Right, and so now that's what you contracted me for. Now I'm going to take a percentage. That's normal, right? 10, 15%, whatever it is, and then I'm going to remit the rest back to you, right? 4 years, they never gave anything back to the American Conservative Union, other than theoretically their money back. Hey, we spent $565,812, and by luck, we got back $565,812.
Broke even.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, as luck would have it, you do online fundraising, you know how exact those numbers are. It's absurd. It's absurd, right? But it's slightly worse than that too. One of the years they make money and then they go, well, that's obviously for us. I mean, that's for our services, so you still get nothing.
Come on!
That's level 2 scam right there. Okay, so these people, look, their board could, if there was any rule of law in this country, which there's an excellent chance there is none when it comes to powerful, wealthy right-wingers.
Bingo.
Right? But if there was any rule of law in this country, you'd ask the board of directors, why did you guys use it for 4 straight years when every year they come back to you and go, sorry, no cookies for you.
No,
we took your $1 million, we spent it, we took the percentage, we funneled it through me, and then you got nothing for it. And you re-upped in the second year, okay, well, maybe you had hope. Third year, fourth year, no, come on, the same exact numbers?
No, Cenk, you're being unfair. They did the assessment, okay? Took a bunch of bids, tried to figure out who would give them the best deal, and they're like, bellissimo, that's it.
0% returns, bellissimo, we picked you again. Oh, who are you? You're us, what a lucky break. Okay, that's what they did, they run Cpac. They run the biggest conservative convention. Everybody gets together, they're like, oh my God, we gotta end crony capitalism and drain the swamp, drain the swamp. Give me your money, give me your money. Oh, bellissimo, you take it, run, run, run. Okay, this is the scam that they're running on you guys. Look, on all of these stories, I kind of have mixed feelings. On the one hand, as a bleeding heart lib, I'm like, don't waste your money on guys. Like if they were gonna do the vicious things you wanted them to do, like, oh my God, make sure women don't have rights to abortion.
They do those vicious things though.
and you give them money for that. Okay, well that's your right as an American. I don't like you, but okay, it is what it is, right? But in this case, they take your money and they go, thanks. They go, sucker and loser, and then they just keep it, right? So the reason I have mixed feelings is at least they're not using your money to do terrible things. They're just using it on their house and their patio and their golf game.
And lawn signs, of course.
And lawn signs. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.